Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. I know with all the chaos and controversy happening, it's easy to get down in the dumps or to lose faith in your investments. And I'm here to tell you that gold and silver will skyrocket in 2020 without a doubt, given the circumstances, given the situations that are at play in the economy, with the government, with the feds pumping out money, with COVID-19 still spreading. I promise you that gold and silver will rise. The recession looming, they're calling it the Greater Depression, and things are at extremely exaggerated extents right now, and there's nothing that anyone can really do except for wait it out. So I'm here to tell you that silver and gold will both be going higher. It won't take much to drive silver prices higher as governments print money. This article from Kitco will be in the description if you want to check it out. I also have another article after this one talking about silver markets stall after a nice rally. So it's showing kind of both ends of the stick, both sides of the fence, but it's definitely good to get some perspective in these markets and what's happening. So before we start, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, because I do post daily videos. So a $2 trillion economic aid package continues to work its way through Congress, and many investors are starting to look at the cost to fight the spreading coronavirus, with one of the mining CEOs saying that it will be good for precious metals prices. In a telephone interview with Kitco News, Daryl Blasutti, president and chief executive officer of America's Gold and Silver, said that it's easy to become a long-term bull on gold and silver as central banks and governments pump the economy with massive capital, just pumping all this money into a system that is already broke. We're broke. We're $24 trillion in debt. How are we able to aid or to put a Band-Aid on something when we don't even have any Band-Aids? It's a false representation of what we have, and we're trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. It's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. You know that's not going to work. So earlier this week, as Congress was putting together its aid package, Federal Reserve announced an open-ended quantitative easing program called stands for QE. Economists expected that deficit spending could rise between 10% and 13% of the GDP, well above these levels seen in the 2008 financial crisis, which also was the credit crisis that led to $50 silver as the outcome. You can't ignore how much it's going to cost to combat this virus. The economic costs are going to be astronomical. This is going to be good for gold and silver and the precious metals miners. While the mining company has positioned itself into equally weighted in gold and silver, Blasutti said that he's slightly more bullish on silver compared to gold. Silver's been significantly beaten up, with prices recently dropping to an 11-year low as the spreading coronavirus has substantially dampened global economic growth, which in turn has weighted on silver's industrial demand. So we're looking at surplus here, supply and demand. These are the players in the game, and if we have a rapidly growing demand to historical levels, but a supply that's diminishing, what's that going to do for silver prices? The reality is, an investor, you can't buy silver anywhere, he said. It's going to take very little investment demand to drive prices higher. See, although the long-term outlook for gold and silver prices and precious metals miners looks good, Blasutti said the industry and the market have to get through this short-term uncertainty. And the thing is we don't know the extent that COVID-19 is going to be spreading. He added that investors should potentially be looking at producers, as they are expected to weather the current storm. He said that for producers, gold and silver aren't going anywhere, and once health and economic crises have passed, production should ramp up fairly quickly. But silver production has been something that's been a problem for the last 7 years, right? We've been abandoning silver mines. Silver's found from byproduct from gold, lead, and zinc. No one's really focusing on silver anywhere. There's no focal silver miners. Silver isn't dug out of the ground that much because it's not that profitable. So we're already at a huge shortage on that front, and I don't see it happening anytime soon, where we're just going to ramp up production just to combat this, because the consequences is they've known this happening, supply can't meet the demand, and they haven't done anything about it. They're chasing the dollar, they're chasing the greenback, and I think that's going to continue to happen. America's gold and silver, Blasutti said, is in good position. He explained that in Nevada, gold mining is considered an essential service. That's gold though, gold, lead, and zinc. Whereas silver is used so much for so many things, I don't see how this is going to work out very well. We've already seen the U.S. Mint sell out of American Eagles. The Royal Canadian Mint shut down production. We've seen massive silver shortages across the globe. They've been abandoning silver mines. It's been vanishing by the hundreds of millions of ounces, and a lot of silver is lost in technology. So silver, or similar to other producers, America's gold and silver has enough access to credit and capital to weather the storm for a year, he said. It's going to be tough times, and it's going to be looking at individual companies rather than entire sectors, he said. If you're producing, you're going to have access to capital to keep the lights on. You may not like the terms, but you will survive. The portion of the mining sector said that Blasutti said thinks that he will suffer most of the companies that are currently building mines. Government lockdowns means these companies are losing money on idled construction equipment. Finally, Blasutti said that mining companies that are still working in current environment need to show strong leadership and follow all recommended safety protocols. If mining companies don't take the appropriate safety measures and the virus spreads to the mines, they could be shut down, and something we don't want. We have the opportunity to lead and show the world we can safely protect our workers. So that's an interesting standpoint, because, gold and silver are needed. It's not like people just want it because it's shiny. It's not just used for jewelry. There's real industrial and technological uses for gold and silver that people actually need. If you want the latest iPhone, if you want your car to work, if you want your, there's cameras, it's used in medical wall paint, there's colloidal silver, there's silver nanoparticles, there's photovoltaic cells, there's so many different uses for silver. It's, the world needs it, and we need to be producing this. And if the demand is going to keep rocketing up, we need to be producing silver to meet this demand. So anyways, here's the next article talking about how markets stall after a nice rally. So let's see what's going to be happening with prices on this end. So silver markets went back and forth during the trading session on Thursday, showing signs of strength initially, but then giving back the gains. Silver sitting just below the psychologically important $50 level. And so it does make sense that that there would be a little bit of a barrier that might cause issues. At this point, I believe signs of exhaustion and breakdown below the bottom of the candlestick Thursday session is probably a nice sell signal, giving that market ability to pull back and perhaps try to find the bottom again. Remember, when a market melts down the way the market has, we will typically see some type of massive bounce and then a pullback towards the lows if it holds. At this point, that might very well be what we're doing. So to the upside, if we get a daily dose above the $15 level, we could see the market go looking towards the $16 level after that. I think given enough time in the market to find penny sellers out there, but he clearly says the U.S. dollar is lifted silver for the short term. And right now we see silver at $14.62. So it is a lot of volatility right now, a lot of bouncing back and forth. So this is a serious lack of industrial demand, although the stimulus bill in the United States may help down the road. All that being said, if you are buying the precious metal in reaction to oversupply of liquidity by central banks, you're better off buying gold instead of silver because it does not have the industrial component to it, which I could disagree with to many different reasons, even just given the last article with the shortage. But as a general rule, if I'm looking to buy precious metals, I tend to buy gold. If I'm looking to buy short precious metals, I tend to buy silver. Now, they both have potential, but I just see more potential with silver, especially seeing the gold to silver ratio is sitting at 112 to 1. It's just blatantly obvious that silver is the better investment. So to the downside, I believe the $13 level will probably be an area that the market will pull back to in order to prove the recent low was in fact a bottom in the market. That being said, the market could continue to see a lot of volatility like we're seeing right now, so the move could be quite rapid if we get some type of spook headline. That's definitely true because silver is based off a lot of speculation right now. Gold and silver is based off a lot of speculation. If we do turn around and break above the $15 level without pulling back, I think we have a pretty significant $1 move, which could probably find even more selling pressure. So, there's a lot of stuff going on. Basically, though, we're just trying to see where COVID-19 is going to take the gold and silver market. That's when it comes down to, as raw as it can get, the meat and potatoes. What is COVID-19 going to do, and what is the government doing in return to fight it? And to what extent is this exposing our government, or how are these consequences going to play out for the long term, for the days ahead of time? Because we could spend all this money, but can we afford to spend it? Just because you can buy something doesn't mean you can afford to buy it. that's something that I think our government needs to take into consideration, because we're just overspending and it's going to bite us in the butt, whether it's a recession looming, whether it's the Greater Depression, whether it's lowering interest rates, raising interest rates, whatever the case is. We need to think about our actions and how it's going to put us in what position it's going to put us in the future. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you're new, because I do post daily videos. A link to these 2 articles will be in the description. With that said, I'm going to tune out here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.